What are you doing?
I don't know, Trev. This feels like, since I come back from London, I can't seem to get my bearings.
What your hand is now? That's the table.
I keep walking around in circles.
That's the table. Go on.
Oh! How are we? Oh! It's a little bit... not very nice weather, is it? London weather almost. Hello everyone, welcome to this. Trev, I'm struggling. I have to say I'm struggling. Have you noticed something different about me?
You put weight on?
Actually, I haven't. I weighed myself this morning. I couldn't believe it. I'm exactly the same as when I left. I don't know what that means. No, it's not the hair either.
What, when you left England for Sweden?
Yeah. So when I left Sweden for England.
Oh.
And since I come back, I'm exactly the same way. No, and it's not my hair either, Trev. Can you tell what it is?
You're wearing rouge, lipstick. Have you had your nails done? Have you had a pedicure? Show us your feet.
No, none of those. None of those.
Go on then. What is it then? I'll give up.
It's my glasses.
Oh yeah, look. I wouldn't have noticed.
I had a little accident, Trev. I had a little accident.
Bloody Englishman, eh?
Yeah. And so they're a bit dirty actually. Can't see properly out of them. I was actually in Camden Town Brewery. Quite late. Great day at the European. I'll take them on, Trev. Don't really work. I'll put them here. At the European Beer Bloggers Conference 2011, the first one. And we were over there, BeerSweden, and I took 4 Swedish breweries, and Jessica Heidrich and Matthias Hammerlin from Sigtuna came over with me, and we just had an amazing few days. I could actually do a whole BeerSweden TV episode on that. Do you want me to do that?
Go on then.
Do you?
Were they your Bausch and Lomb? Were they quite expensive, those glasses?
These were really expensive.
What were they? Weren't they like Bausch and Lomb or something?
I haven't put
like
the insurance claim in yet. No, these were...
Dolce & Gabbana or something?
These were Hugo Boss, mate.
Oh,
Hugo Boss.
blimey.
So now it's just Hugo. Okay, Boss is still at Camden Town Brewery. And can I put a little call out? If anyone has worked at Camden Town Brewery and is by any chance watching this episode, and you find the other half of my glasses...
Well, I think a new pair might be better.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
A bit of super glue there, Trev? A bit of super, or a bit of Band-Aid, you know, like it could look like, then I could look like, you know, like...
Eric Morecambe.
Yeah, in the early days. Anyway, that's enough of that. But I do want to say, actually, the reason that the sort of theme of today's show is, because I just got back from London, is that we're actually going to try a beer called London. Trev, can you see that? It's seamless, isn't it?
It's spelled wrong. It's supposed to be spelled L-A-N-D-A-N.
Dovetail. Huh?
Supposed to be spelled L-A-N-D-A-N, London.
Okay. The other beer that we're going to try, moving on, is actually a beer that not a lot of people may have seen. It's in the Sustainable Lager, bestellings only, okay? So a little bit more difficult to get hold of. Comes in cases of 12, but it's Green King's Strong Suffolk Vintage Ale. And it was really just because it was British, so I just dragged that out of the fridge as well.
I used to drink Green King in the 70s.
Did you? Okay. Well, you know, they've got a lot bigger in the UK. They're kind of like, a little bit like the brewery that people love to hate over there. For their mainstream beers, like their IPA, for instance. I haven't got a problem with them at all. Actually, I think some of their beers are absolutely cracking. And this one is actually a gold medal winner. And I've heard, well, actually, I've tried it, but it was a long time ago, so I'm looking forward to trying that one again, because this has actually got quite a little bit of muscle to it. Okay, so they're the 2 beers that we're going to try, Trev. Should we just get cracking into it? Shall I talk to you a little bit more? Have you seen I've got a laptop here? You know why it's here?
Because you don't know nothing.
No, it's because I've been to a bloggers conference. And now I'm tweeting this as we actually film.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Okay? It's me tweeting.
It's very funny. Show us the label.
Show us the what?
The label.
Of course, yeah, here we go.
Because they've put a bit of thought into that.
They have actually.
You've got to turn it around a bit because we want to see the... Exactly, yeah.
Shall I spin it?
It's the Jack the Ripper type. It's the Victorian times, isn't it?
I don't think they were probably thinking about Jack the Ripper.
No, but Gaslight
when
and
they
all that.
actually designed the label. But yes, and what's so interesting about this beer, other than the fact obviously it's called London, it's 4.7%. Should we throw the stats up, Trev? That still work, does it?
I think so.
Even though my fingers are wet?
Yeah, I think so.
It's 4.7% in terms of alcohol by volume.
Lager,
which is perfectly in keeping with a British style of beer, which is what this is. It's also ecological, which means if you drink it, then somewhere on the other side of the world...
A tree will be saved.
That's right, or some endangered species will live to fight another day. So you really are making a contribution.
Lovely.
Is that right, John? Is that what happens?
Of course, it's exactly what happens in the real world.
Shall I read what's on the back of the label?
Go on. You're asking me a lot of questions. Have you become unsure?
I know, because, well, you know, I've come back and I just feel so chuffed to be a blogger. I just feel so empowered. When it rains on your laptop, is that a good thing?
No, not at all.
Okay. It is...
But it is a Mac, and of course they
oh, is it Rain Mac?
Apparently, man, they can get... I won't even... Go on.
Could you put a little Because that was good, wasn't it? Could you put a little like drums and a cymbal? Thank you. London is an unpasteurised, over top fermenting tribute to British beer culture. See, so we like it already. And basically, actually, I've got some better stats. It's a pale ale in style. Okay, the malts used, 2 types: Pilsner malt and caramel malt. Sorry, and 3 actually, and dark caramel malt. 4 types of hops: First Gold, Sovereign, Opal, and Hallertau Tradition. Okay, and some sort of strange yeast. We won't go into that.
We tried this, didn't we? At the
we tried it at Linköping. Yeah, we liked it, but we were a bit blown away by that red
ale, yeah.
Red ale, weren't we?
It's good to keep it clear.
Here we go. Put that there. Put that there. Look at that.
Lovely colour.
Lovely colour. Very golden. Almost like Welsh gold. What do you say, Trev?
I don't know what Welsh gold is.
Welsh gold jewellery. It's got that slight sort of...
I ain't got as much money as you because you don't pay me.
Or you haven't met a Welsh
Have I mentioned that?
Have you ever met a Welsh woman? She'd have Welsh gold. And the Welsh gold there, it's kind of like gold with that little sort of burnish of copper, red fire. Welsh fire, Trev, okay? I'm good to be back in it.
Vajazzled. Okay. If it's vajazzled, will I see the Welsh gold?
Okay. Let's give it a whirl, Trev, even if it's from Wales. From wherever? Slottskällans. Uppsala. Give it a whirl. Lovely colour. Slightly sort of praline, sort of coloured head to it as well. Lovely stuff. Now, in terms of the nose, there's a little bit of a sort of a citrusy, a spicy sort of note to it. Caramel's there, definitely, but none of it's in huge sort of quantities. I would say it's quite tight, the nose. But it's all about the caramel, it's all about the malts, this one, actually. And actually I really like it, and for that I really like it. Drinkability, Trev, all over it. Absolutely lovely. Hinkability factor.
The session beer, then.
Absolutely. Nice to feel. You're almost getting into that. This dark caramel malt, I think, has actually put something on the table here. I don't know what proportion is used in it. Probably not very much at all. But I think I'm getting just the beginnings, the suggestions of that sort of dark demerara sugar. You know, those sorts of, and that's really, really nice. In terms of the hops, not getting an awful lot. That doesn't really matter. Not every beer needs to be massively hoppy or overly hoppy. Perhaps this little bit of sort of peppery spice that I'm getting through. Earthy. Kind of noble tasting. Pleasant. Actually, really pleasant, sessionable beer. And ecological. You know, ecological beer, organic beer has a bit of a bad rap. You know. In terms of actual flavour. The message and the theme is wonderful. But the actual beer sometimes let you down. A bit grassy, a little bit sort of thin and grainy. This hasn't got that at all. It's actually got quite a smooth mouthfeel. In terms of ratings, Trev, because I'm going to rate these ones.
Because you've got last one.
Forgot last one.
Monkey boy.
Yeah. I'm going to go 3.4. Trev, 3.4. A very solid beer from Slottskällans. Well done, guys. Girls. Sure. This one, Trev. Should I hold it up for you?
I'm trying to think what it was called when I drank in England in the 70s. This probably when they come about, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They started introducing sort of like real ale in a bottle.
Would you like me to blog it?
Yes, please.
Because I'm a blogger now.
Go on in.
You know that. I can just blog it for you.
Green King.
On my Rain Mac.
Abbott.
Abbott, yeah.
It was Abbott. It was the one that had the bottle looked like a specimen bottle. Specimen, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'd like to hear that. Well, they've got the IPA, which is Old Speckled Hennicles.
No, I like that actually. I didn't even know that was Green King.
Ruddles, the old milk bottle.
Thank you.
Ruddles County.
That's what I was thinking of.
One.
Silly
so
me.
they've got a real stable of beers, you know, that really very well known in the UK. Okay.
Ruddles, and that was before real ale was really popular in England. So this is the end. About 76, 77. I know, it's murder, isn't it? I'm trying to protect the camera.
Okay, have you seen this one?
Go on, go in again.
Okay, now this one, people, is not available in the ordinary assortment, so you can't just go into your system below and buy a bottle of this. You have to actually go into the Bestellings assortment, into e-Bestelling, on the System Belongings website.
Hang on.
How's the show going so far, Trev? What do you think? It's raining.
That was an ambulance.
That was an ambulance. I'll put that there. You have to go into the BeerSwedenTV section of the...
Strange though, because Cheap Thrills went straight in, isn't that weird?
Cheap Thrills went straight in. Do you know it sold 396,000 units in April?
Really, sigh.
Anyway, back to real beer, to beer. So you have to go to the BeerSwedenTV and Trev, if you can throw the number up, there is a number that you can actually search for and you can find this. You have to buy it in cases of 12. I'm not quite sure how much it costs, but you can find it out. I'm still jet lagged.
Looking here, they can't be, what, 21, 22 crowns, I think?
I think probably, I'm not sure really. In terms of, well, this is quite a meaty one. In terms of
6%.
6.7, yeah. And now this is interesting because London, of course, was a big nod to the English beer tradition. This one obviously is British. It's actually a blend, so it's a blend of two beers. The BPA, which I think is their pale ale, and their Old 5X. Now the Old 5X is a beer that's aged in oak casks for 2 years. Okay, and then they blend the two of them together, so it's really quite interesting to get this strong Suffolk vintage ale. Now, of course, whenever you age beer in oak casks, you're going to get that oak coming through, especially for 2 years. So I'm expecting some very dark, sort of bready, sugary, burnt sugar types of notes to it. In terms of the colour, wonderful, wonderful colour. A lot darker, of course. Very sort of mahogany, old furniture sort of look to it, don't you think, Trev?
Your jacket's behind. I'll have it sort of like against the wall a little bit.
Can you see that?
No, move it over to your... I mean, I've got the whole picture in, so just move your hand over to your right. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought maybe it was your jacket a lot.
Anyway, so let's give it a little whirl, Trev, shall we? Suffolk, have you been there?
Probably.
So,
it's a good look, it's a beautiful county, isn't it?
Beautiful. Beautiful county, lots of sheep in it.
Now I've got to put a noise
if you want some real cheap thrills, that's where you go, Suffolk.
All in one package,
so
Mac, wellies and a sugar.
So a bit wine gummy, you're getting lots of nice sort of rich, dark, Christmassy fruit, as it were. Oak, absolutely, definitely getting some wood, definitely getting some molasses, brown, burnt almost sugars. Lots going on there. Oh, and it's lovely, smooth, elegant, after dinner. This would, well, I say after dinner. This
I can really smell it.
Can you smell it? It's a huge amount of aroma coming out of it. This is very elegant, sophisticated, stately sort of beer as far as I'm concerned. Very British in its character. Would butt up very nicely against some pretty strong meat dishes. Be no problem at all. Can take on beef, can take on any sort of vilt quite nicely. Got a slight sort of sourness as well to it, which is actually quite interesting. So it's that sort of aged character is coming through in the beer too. Fascinating stuff. Really like it. I think it's worth the effort to go and get it. I would recommend this and give it a rating, Trev, of 3.9. 3.9. So there we go. I think we need to go in and dry off a little bit, Trev. Been a fascinating few days in London, and you know, it's been great to see that, to try so many great beers, and it's also good to come back home and see that some of them are here. Fantastic.
Were the English impressed with the Swedish beers then? The ones you took with you?
Yeah, what we did. We took 4 breweries over: Sigtuna, Oppigård, Nynäs, Ham. And we took over, well, Jessica came over with her St. Erik's range of beers as well. So we had we had several brands from each of the breweries, but 4 breweries there. We had our own table, and to be honest with you, Trev, we absolutely rocked it. We rocked it. There was a night of many beers at Camden Town Brewery.
Did Matthias get in a fight or anything?
No fights, no fisty fights, no nothing. It was all beer and love, actually. Beer and hops and love, of course, as Jessica would say. We were up against Rogue, we were up against Darkstar, well, up against them, we were all there together. It was all very amicable and lots of great spirit. But Darkstar were there, we had some great Italian beers. Who else did we have? As I say, we had Rogue, we had some beers from France. We had Marble from the UK that were really up and coming, and there was us. And I tell you what, our table was just packed. You could not move for people wanting to try the beers.
Did they send enough beer?
Sent enough beer. No, we had enough beer, but the problem was actually trying to get to talk to everyone. But everyone was furiously scribbling down their notes. Everyone was saying how impressed they were. Didn't think that Swedish beer was like this. With this much flavour, brewed to this high quality. We had people with bottle shops that wanted to get their beer straight in there. So pretty cool. Great
Nice
reaction. And I think this is the start of something. We need to, get Swedish beers people out there because they deserve to be out
Beer
there.
Sweden's
Fantastic.
mission statement from day one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them actually. It was one of them. Absolutely. So anyway, there we go. That's enough of that sort of meandering. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Next time, I hope it will be a little bit dry, but I doubt it because we're going to film it straight after this one. So until then, everyone, cheers and beers.